Welcome back to Let's Play Super Mario 64 here at Trippy Commentaries. Let's jump into Dire Docks. We have 84 stars as we make our way to the end of the game and finally defeating Super Mario 64 once and for all. Let's try pole jumping for red coins. Thank you guys for joining us in the playthrough. I'm RJ. Corey, I know you're joining along for one of your favorite games here. What can you tell us about Dire Docks?
Well, this is the level, of course, with all the cool animals. We got a stingray here, as we can see. I believe this also, if I'm not mistaken, there's an eel on this level. But, in this star, we're going to have to go into this second part over where Bowser's sub was, of course, that we destroyed. Or has taken off or whatever, but we're gonna have to, as it says, do some pole jumping between these moving poles to get all of the red coins. This is one of the tougher, more acrobatic feats that you have to do as far as the red coin stars, RJ.
Yeah, hopefully it goes well. Of course, we will be pole jumping, not to be confused with pole dancing. And hopefully it goes well. Now, do you remember how to actually start the process off, C-Dub?
Yeah, you're going to go over to the right over here where you can actually walk around. And there is a purple switch that you can hit that will bring up some of the disappearing blocks that you can use as a platform to go up to this top platform and ride the poles over to the various platforms to secure all of the red coins.
Shiza, I fell down. Guys, we'll meet you on that platform. Here we are. We've made it to the top. We have 3 different choices. Do you remember this one, Corey? I know the 8 red coin challenges are always some of the most pesky. Do you think this one's pretty hard or what?
I think it's more annoying than hard because sometimes you do miss a jump. Luckily, you aren't penalized by falling and hurting yourself. You do fall right into water. So, it's just a matter of making sure you time up your jumps just right from these poles. And you should have the 8 red coins and the star in no time.
Seems easy enough so far. Hopefully we do not fall down. Perhaps this is a dead end. I think we have to turn back. So, yeah, we have 84 stars, guys. We're getting closer and closer to the end of the game. We have to get a lot of the 100 coin stars, as well as some different 8 red coin stars that are hidden in secret areas of the castle. And we'll see how many more episodes it actually takes to finish out the game. It will be interesting. It'll be nice to finish off Bowser once and for all. And hopefully we can eventually get into Super Mario Sunshine, which was a bit of a sequel to this game. Oh, here we go, tough jump. Luckily, we were able to get it. Looks like this one's behind a wall. Corey, I think you said earlier in our playthrough that you actually never got a chance to play Super Mario Sunshine. Is that right?
I didn't. I played it a couple of times, just kind of sparingly back in the day at friends' houses. But no, that's really been the one Mario game that I've never had a chance to really sink my teeth into. And that might be one I have to go pick up for the GameCube. Maybe play it on the Wii, perhaps.
Yeah, I recommend it. I gotta say, it's probably, in my book, the most underrated Mario game out there. Most of the games are praised, so, it's hard to say any of them are underrated to begin with. But I do think that game's underrated. If you can imagine, I know you did play it, but, it's pretty much just better controls of this with a jetpack. So it's not a bad idea for the Mario series. I liked it. It didn't have, of course, the scope of this game. There's many more levels in this game, and because you're not tied down to a beach-like area, paradise you can call it, they can put you in a lot more scenarios. But other than that, I gotta say it's a fantastic game, and I really can't wait to play it for the channel here. That's going to be a fun playthrough. In fact, it'd be nice, Corey, I would like to somehow pull that one off to where you can play it, maybe do a blind playthrough and challenge your Mario skills, because it's really the same controls, and in some scenarios they take the jetpack away from you and you're put in classic Mario 64 situations. So it'd be interesting to see if you could actually defeat Super Mario Sunshine. It'd be a challenge for you, that's for sure.
Well, you know I'm always up for a challenge whenever it comes to Mario games. I definitely am a Mario fanatic. Sonic can suck it. I hate Sonic. No, not really. Sonic's cool too, but Mario's a lot cooler.
Yeah, Sonic rules. I gotta say, I actually like Sonic more. As much as I love Mario, I fucking love Sonic, man. Huge Sonic, and we will be getting into some Sonic the Hedgehog challenges very soon here at the channel. If you guys are Sonic fans as well, make sure to watch out for that. But Corey, you said you're open to any Mario challenge at any time. Well, it just so happens I have a challenge for you. I was reviewing our last episode, and I couldn't help but notice that you were defending the real Super Mario Bros. 2. In fact, you said it was a pretty good game. Those of you who don't know, the actual Super Mario Bros. 2 here in the U.S. was released as Doki Doki Panic in Japan. So it's really not a true Mario game, even though we saw a ton of things in that game, such as Shy Guys and all kinds of stuff that's stuck around in the series. But the real Super Mario Bros. 2 is basically a carbon copy of the original, only a lot harder. And Corey, you said that game wasn't bad, so I'm going to challenge you to actually defeat that game for the channel. What do you say about that?
I say let's do it, man. I'm not certain that I can completely conquer Bowser in that game, but as I said, I'm always up for a challenge. That was one of the more challenging games that I have played in the Mario series, most certainly.
Oh gosh, man, that game is hard as fuck. Man, they introduce wind physics into that game, much like we see in Ninja Gaiden. So that's always fun. You got to throw that in there. Of course, those of you who've played Mario Bros. 1 know that the controls are a little bit slippery in that game, intentional. Even, I know you're a huge Mega Man guy, Corey. I know they made Mega Man 1 a lot like Super Mario Bros. 1. They gave that slippery game thing there intentional just to make it like Mario Bros. 1. So that same thing can be found in the Lost Levels, as it's called here in the U.S., Super Mario Bros. 2. And Corey, you better get to practicing, because we can't do a partial playthrough here. You're going to have to conquer that one completely. I think you can pull it off, man. You're a master Mario player, and I think you can do it for us, man.
I'll definitely give it a shot. I'll fire up my Super Nintendo and pop in my copy of Super Mario All-Stars and get to work here.
Nice. So you will be practicing with the All-Star port. Interesting. I guess we'll have to play that version. I think that version would possibly make it a little bit easier for you. Damn it. Here we are back in Wet Dry World. I'll get to the very top and we'll make our way back to the other side of the level. Alright, we are in the cannon. Let's go ahead and blast ourselves to the other side of the level here. Hopefully we get far enough. And nice. Right on point. Corey, another game I wanted to ask you about that we just mentioned was Super Mario Bros. 2. Of course, the one we got here in the States. The one that was released as Doki Doki Panic in Japan. I know that was a little bit different from the first one, that's for sure. You can't even jump on anybody's head to kill them. You have to pick them up and throw them and do all kinds of crazy stuff. What do you think about that game?
I thought it was definitely cool. The fact that they ported over Doki Doki Panic and just added the Mario sprites and a few other changes. And then as a spoiler alert here, I'll go ahead and give you guys a warning for the 3 people in the world who've never played Mario Bros. 2, the U.S. version. Of course, at the end, it is revealed that it's all a dream, and Mario has been fast asleep through the whole thing. So, I mean, while it's part of the Mario lore, it's not necessarily, something that's taken as canon and as, something that we can really consider a substantial part of the series. But, I mean, something that I liked as far as exploring through Subcon was all the different enemies, man.
Yeah, and that's an interesting point you bring up as far as saying it's really not canon, because we have a lot of enemies that showed up in that game that stuck around. Of course, Shy Guy. There's some enemies that I'd like to see more, such as Wart, I believe his name was, the frog final boss. He made an appearance in Zelda: A Link's Awakening, actually. But yeah, there was a lot of things that stuck around from that series. And you see, a lot of times you see cameos from Mario 2 in other games, much like, of course, Mario 3, which nowadays seems to be in every Mario game. But there still was a lot of things that came from that game that I guess probably derived from the Doki Doki universe, I have to imagine. And we're thrown in the Mario universe for good. Alright, so we are trying to get the 8 red coins. Looks like we just got number 3. Of course, some of them are in these blocks. You can see one up there on that roof. I'm sure there's a red coin in there. What did you think about this side of the map, Corey? I know we already came over here once before when we were trying to search for all the secrets. This was a pretty interesting area. It was a little bit surprising the first time I came across it, because it seems a little bit more detailed than the other side of Wet Dry World.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, like you said, this side has a lot of the detail. It's like its own little town, sort of, within Wet Dry World. I almost wonder who the inhabitants of this town are exactly.
And I totally think that they probably had intentions to put citizens or something in here. I've mentioned, as I am fucking with the terrible camera here. Damn you, Lakitu. But I've mentioned that I think that this game, I thought that this game was not totally complete, that they had some ideas, plans that they weren't able to actually put in it. And one of the ideas I think that they had was inhabitants to this town. Now the question is, who would be living in this town? Would it be some sort of animal that could swim? You'd think that they would have to be. Would it be perhaps more bob-ombs? Be a strange place for them to live. Corey, can you speculate on who would possibly live here in this abandoned town?
I would have to guess it could possibly be maybe this town was some sort of last refuge or hiding spot for the Toads when Bowser came and started raising hell all over the Mushroom Kingdom. Maybe we could have saw Toads in here at one point.
Interesting. We've definitely seen Toads adapt in the past. I mean, hell, we've seen Toads in space. So could we possibly have seen Toads that could swim underwater, possibly breathe underwater? Definitely a possibility. Perhaps we'd mentioned Wart. Maybe this was a place for Wart and all of his frog minions to live from Mario 2. Were they perhaps planning a Mario 2 reference here in Super Mario 64? Because other than the fly guy, which can be seen in some of the levels, such as Tall Tall Mountain, there's really not a ton of references to Super Mario Bros. 2 in this game. Alright, looks like we have to get on the roofs over here. But other than that, I really can't think of a ton of underwater inhabitants in the Mario universe. Much of the animals that Mario finds underwater are like bloopers, the squids, and fish. But not too many animals that have interacted with him. Let's see.
Yeah, I can't really think of many other myself. Like I said, something to consider it is wet and dry world, so maybe, whenever it's dry, the Toads live there, and whenever it's wet, other inhabitants live there. Who knows? I mean, the Mario world has, came up with some pretty zany stuff in the past, so it's really untelling who may or may not have been intended to live here in Wet Dry World.
Here's another our theory, Corey. How about Yoshi? I mean, we all know that Yoshi is in the game, but he, of course, is not playable, and he kind of looks retarded, to be honest with you. He doesn't look like the real Yoshi that we've known to play as and play with through the years. So perhaps maybe that was a location to find Yoshi. Maybe they had some Yoshi plans, such as in Super Mario World, where there was different Yoshi forms. Maybe there was meant to be a swimming form. Who knows? What do you think, Corey? Do you think there's any chance that they possibly meant to have Yoshi in this game to play with possibly as a playable character or more likely as someone that Mario can use to ride around on like a horse?
I would have to imagine so, man. I mean, we certainly saw in the 3DS remake or re-release of this game where you could play as Yoshi. I have to assume that was at least at some point in the plans for the game, but that might have been one of those things that they had lofty goals as far as the technology, and they could only fit so much in there.
And we also have to mention there's a statue, we've shown it off in the playthrough, of course, over towards the Big Boo's haunt area, the courtyard. And that statue has been an area of mystery for a long time. For a long time, many people believed that it was a clue to the existence of Luigi. Now, at this point, we know that there's no chance that Luigi is hidden in the game. I mean, people would have certainly found it by now. But that's another guy to wonder if possibly Luigi was a playable character at some time in production. I know there was 4 playable characters in Super Mario 3DS, which, Corey, you said you beat. Who were the 4 characters, of course, other than Mario? I guess just 3 other characters.
I do believe you get, at various points through the game, you unlock the ability to play as Yoshi, Luigi, and if I'm not mistaken, Wario.
Nice. How did Yoshi play in that game?
Oh man, it was great. He had of course, the mechanic where he eats items and enemies and then spits them back out. Classic Yoshi, staple as far as his gameplay. I thought it was really cool, man. As somebody who was a great fan of Mario 64, but couldn't help but be left wanting a little bit more. I thought it was really cool that they added all these other little features into the 3DS remake for sure.
Yeah, one of these days I'll have to pick up a 3DS. I definitely have wanted one for a while now. Hopefully can get one of those soon, and I guess that'll have to be one of the games I'll pick up. Of course, now that we're playing this one, it's not going to be on my, it's not going to be one of the first ones I get, but eventually I'll have to jump into it and play as Wario, Luigi, and Yoshi. That should be pretty cool. Here we are inside the Wiggler's Den once again. We saw this area in the last episode. This, of course, is underneath where we fought against Wiggler, who seems to have been resurrected and back to their full size. But we can get another 8 red coin star down here. Do you remember this one, C-Dub?
Yeah, I believe I do, man. This one's, there's some pretty tough jumps here where you actually have to go through and get all the coins. But as long as you're careful here, you should be good to go. And we'll have ourselves one more star, that much closer to our final goal of 120.
Yep, we'll get there before we know it. Now I just got to figure out how to get up there. Looks like I'm going to have to do some wall jump action over here. Let's see if that works. And here's the star. Of course, these blue stars, I'm sure you guys picked up by now, are where the 8 red coin stars spawn. So you always want to make sure to find that. Usually, of course, when you get the 8 red coins, it shows you where it is. And as long as you, of course, know where the area is, you can pretty much figure it out. Let's try to jump back over here. It appears as if we're missing one. Where could it be? Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's all the way at the top. We're going to have to do some well-timed jumps here. Oh. Another game we'll have to tackle eventually, Corey, is Super Mario World. Even though it doesn't sound like it's either one of our favorite games, I know you said I think Super Mario Brothers 3 was your favorite, and this, Super Mario 64 is my favorite. Oh, damn it. We'll jump back in and grab the 8 red coins, guys. Alright, after falling off the side a couple times, we have now gotten the star. Now, unfortunately, when you die, it does not start you back up here in the cave. You have to start all the way back outside the cave. I recommend just grabbing the Koopa's green shell and surfing up to the top. But either way, it is now done. We have made it to 87 stars. C-Dub, we need one more to get to 88. That would be a great number to end off on. let's see if we can find a good one to get. Guess we have no choice but to head back downstairs. We've gotten most of them up there, with the exception, of course, with Rainbow Ride and a couple more in Tick-Tock Clock, or actually just one more in Tick-Tock Clock, so we'll hold off on that. Let's keep heading down. Baba, or Big Boo's Haunt, we already took care of that place for the most part. Yeah, we already went into Dire Docks earlier. I guess let's head into the Hazy Maze Cave, C-Dub. Do you have any recollection of that level?
Yes, I do. I can remember losing many lives inside the Hazy Maze. Of course you do. It's much like a poisonous gas that Mario is asphyxiated by. And it's going to take some careful maneuvering here in the Hazy Maze Cave to go ahead and secure this 88th star.
It looks like they want us to get another 8 red coin star. Hell, I mean, we've already gotten a couple. We might as well get one more. It's not going to hurt. Here we are in the room where we can find the 8 red coins. From what I remember, we have to ride around in a platform, which is up here. Let's see if we can find a way to the top. Here's the blue star. How are we going to get to the top, Corey? I seem to remember there was a way up.
Yeah, if you go right over here in the corner, you can actually walk up it. And then from there, you're going to have to... you'll ride the first platform on the first level here, and I believe there's 4. And then after that, you're going to have to climb up the pole and go to the next one. And once you get to that point, that's where it's a little bit tougher, because I believe from that height, if you fall, Mario does get hurt. And I can't exactly remember if we have a life refill heart anywhere around here or not.
Yeah, good point. Looks like they're hiding the red coins in the blocks, a lot like Wet Dry World. Damn you, Miyamoto, and your 8 red coins. Yeah, so you were saying there's 2 levels here, C-Dub. It looks like you're correct. Alright, here's another block. I'm assuming there'll be another red coin here, and I see one floating over there on that platform. So we got halfway through here. We got the first 4. Now the question is, Corey, how are we going to get to that top level?
Well, you'll go back to right where you started, and you'll see a pole there right next to where the elevator spawns. And you'll basically just take that pole and ride it on up, and that'll take us to the next level where we can get on another elevator and secure the rest of the red coins.
Nice. Much like the first star we got in this episode, we are climbing up poles and jumping off poles. Let's elevate to the second floor here. Let's take a look in first person mode. Of course, something you guys should definitely take advantage of when playing Super Mario 64 by hitting up on the control stick, or I guess it would be the C buttons if you're using an actual N64 controller. You can use that to actually manipulate the camera. What is this? Okay, that's the door we came from. I gotta say, we're using it, or I'm playing here with the classic Wii controller, and it's almost time for me to get a new one, because the right joystick, which is used to actually control the camera, is pretty well crapped out at this point. It gets stuck every once in a while, and this is a game that kind of demands you to use the camera quite a bit. It's one of the faults, that's for sure, but you know, you gotta deal with it. What can you say about the camera in this game, Corey? I can't imagine you're too thrilled with it.
I mean, you know, looking back in retrospective, it is quite the pain in the ass, you know, but for the time, man, it was quite revolutionary. You know, there's certain spots, it seems like especially on these moving platforms where you have a really hell of a hard time actually being able to look at what you want. But it seems like we did all right here. We secured star number 88 after we got the 8 red coins. This is a lot of numerology here. Perhaps this may be the spot where we leave off for this episode, RJ.
Sounds like a great spot to me, C-Dub. Thank you guys for joining us for this episode. We now have 88 stars. In the next episode, we will get closer and closer to 100. and we can finally defeat Super Mario 64. Make sure to stay tuned. We appreciate you joining us in this adventure, and we'll catch you in the next episode. I'm RJ for Corey. Peace out, guys.